When I used to go out of town, Mr. Ray,
Yeah.
I used to drink alcohol, right?
Hmm.
I noticed that in the night time,
Get thirsty.
you get very, very
Exactly.
thirsty.
Because alcohol dehydrates the body.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
Mm.
caffeine dehydrates the body as
Yes.
well. Now, both substances are addictive, caffeine and alcohol.
Mm.
So once people get used to that, your body starts to crave for it, which means you want to take more.
I'll take more.
And the more you take, the harder it is to come off of it.
Okay then.
Yeah. And eventually, then it just becomes a habit. So, just to point some of the dangerous things. I mean, the lack of the water. Now, we're talking about roughly 8 pints of water just to function. And the older somebody gets, the more water they have to drink. Because then the body starts to dehydrate faster as you age. That's why you can tell when people's skin starts to literally go very dry.
That's because of lack of water.
It's lack of water, that's all it is.
I didn't know that.
Yeah? And I mean, eventually the skin starts to shrink,
Okay then.
a bit like a prune.
Mm.
Yeah, where the prune sort of squashes up. It's no longer plump and round. And then the skin starts feeling and looking like leather. Now, as people age, you know, generally their skin starts looking like that and people accept it as, oh, I'm just getting old. But you could be old and have young looking supple skin.
Right.
It's as simple as that.
Right. So therefore, it's important for us to eat a lot of water-based fruits and vegetables. Then.
Of course, yeah. So apart from drinking water, I mean, fruits and vegetables naturally have water.
Yeah.
And one of the good things about it is, generally that water is less toxic,
Okay.
yeah, because you know the plant would have died if the water was toxic.
Right.
Yeah,
That's a good point. That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So all vegetables and fruits absorb water. Now, the good thing is, it's to eat them in their raw state.
Okay.
That way, once you apply heat, heat destroys
Mhm.
the nutrients in the fruit and the vegetable. So you need those nutrients and they have to be live because they got enzymes as well, and the enzymes have to be live.
Break down what is enzymes, because people.
Right. Enzymes are, they're little chains of molecules and they have different shapes and they all play a different function in the body in terms of tuning up the body, keeping it healthy. Now, they aid digestion, to digest the food. So enzymes help to actually break down the food. So a lot of people, again, because they eat the wrong types of food, highly processed and cooked foods, then they're going to suffer from things like indigestion. And then things like ulcers. So those things again could be prevented by a near enough raw food diet. So therefore you don't need these indigestion pills, which is a lot of acid.
So the enzyme actually what breaks down the
food.
The food.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But if the enzymes aren't live, because you've heated the food, you've killed the enzymes.
Have no use.
Yeah, it's dead food,
It's dead food.
and therefore you can't digest the food.
Okay.
Yeah. And
So what's the purpose of enzymes breaking down the food? What's it? I mean, I'm just.
right,
breaks down
well,
the
your
food.
body can't make the enzymes.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to get it live from the food.
Okay then.
Yeah,
So your body actually needs the enzymes
needs the
to
enzymes
break down the food. I see what you're saying.
Now they're very powerful acids like hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid, which are in the stomach. And when you eat, your brain sends a signal to release those acids to start breaking down the food. Okay? Now, that's one of the reasons why chewing things like chewing gum is dangerous. Now, a lot of people chew chewing gum, what that does is it fools the body into thinking food is going to be coming.
Is that so? Yeah.
Yeah, so the acids start flowing into the stomach and there's no food to break down.
To break down, that's what you're saying.
So
Okay. Okay.
those acids going to start breaking down the lining of your stomach.
Mm.
So when that happens, it becomes a sore, which is an ulcer.
All right.
Okay? So that's why you really shouldn't chew chewing gum.
Plus the environment as well. If you look at the pavements outside, it's a terrible thing.
That's true. Yeah.
Mm.
And then chewing gum also has. I think about 80% of chewing gums have artificial sweeteners in it,
Okay then.
which also is deadly.
Mm-hmm.
So you also have to watch while we're talking about water to make sure that the water is as pure as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely avoid fruit flavored water
Right.
because it's got aspartame in it.
Aspartame. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is aspartame? Aspartame.
Aspartame is an artificial sweetener that's been on the market globally for the last 22 years. It's something described medically as a neurotoxin, which is another name for poison.
Mm.
Now it's cheaper than sugar, so it replaces anything that doesn't have sugar.
Right.
A lot of people are fooled by that, and they think, well,
It's addictive.
it's addictive as well.
It's addictive. Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of people are probably becoming aware that sugar is a drug and it's addictive, and you should try and minimize or avoid it. So they think, well, anything that's got sugar free doesn't have sugar, so it must be better. Well, you've gone really from the frying pan into the fire,
Mm.
because
what they've done, they've played with your psychology, really, isn't it?
yeah. So many people get ill innocently.
Psychology, yeah.
Yeah.
Right from the roots it come in. The wrong intentions right
Right.
from the start.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It used to be people who take the means from the land
Yeah.
and then supply the means back to the people to the land once they've taken from it. Now it's just take but nothing back to the land, and we've
Right.
alienated ourselves from nature,
Mm.
which is our vital source, which keeps
Yeah.
our immune system at the level where the
Mm.
enzymes operate and everything's smooth.
Yeah.
And we've
Now this
defunct
stuff
Mm-hmm.
was discovered by accident 22 years ago by a chemist working for a company called GM Searle in America. And he was experimenting with different substances. He took a lunch break. When he came back, this particular chemical, he looked at it, he dipped his finger in it, tasted it, and it tasted extremely sweet. So he became fascinated with this and realized, in fact, this chemical is 200 times sweeter than sugar. So can you imagine, you're trying to avoid sugar, you now go and start consuming something that's 200 times sweeter than sugar and addictive.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Now, they tested it out on rats as they normally do with most things, and the rats died of brain tumors.
Okay then.
So aspartame can cause brain tumors. Now, brain tumors are no joke, because once you have a brain tumor, you are likely to die.
Mm.
I mean, it's possible to remove it if it's in a part of the brain
I
that
think we have to be clear. So, it's a poison.
it's a poison.
It's a poison. Now then, if I wanted to poison people in the community,
Mhm.
yeah, and I was found guilty, by rights, I should be locked up and dashed with the keys,
Yeah.
right?
If you put
No,
arsenic-
you have an establishment
Yeah.
poisoning the community
quite legally.
quite legally. I guess away with it.
Yeah. See, what happens is
It goes further than food though. It's now mobile phones and EMI interference and
Yeah.
things
Yeah.
like that,
Those-
which is
those are
affecting
things.
our brain
Yeah.
chemistry and our
Yeah.
body's natural vibration.
Mm.